Well, I have a hot mess on my desk, like always. And the hair is going in all kind of different directions. Okay, so how is everybody out there? Let's take a look. So we need to talk about Create, okay? Create is 60 days away from today. Is that not so much fun? Is that not so crazy to think about it? I am having just like my brain is just blown off because I was thinking, okay, so we have, 60 days till Create, right? And then I was like going, okay, so we need to do a series, uh, warming up to Create, because Create May, spring 2026 is going to be our scrapbooking event, right? It's not only scrapbooking, it's also card making. It's like a dual type of a series of things, right? So we have both lovely things happening at the same time. And so we need to kind of warm up to it. I know that we are all ready for some fun scrapbooking ideas, something that we need to warm up and start thinking about. 60 days away, which means that uh, that's 2 months. That's like 2 months. And then you know that we get our box like 2 weeks before, right? We get our box 2 weeks before the event. So then that means that in 6 weeks, our box could possibly be in our warm little hands. Is that not going to be so much fun? That part is what just blows my mind. Yes, I think that that is just incredible. Now let me move over to see what's going on see who's with us. I'm just standing here talking by myself, but I can't see anybody on my screen. So hello, Patty. How are you? And Candy, how are you? Yes. Oh my goodness. Dell, how are you? Oh my goodness. Jennifer, are all your pages done? I know Dell's pages are all done. Hello, my sweet friend Rita. Okay, so I am so happy that you're here with me. And Bonnie, sweetheart, are your pages all done from last week? Yeah, I don't know. So we kind of have to start thinking about Create. Now, I know that this sounds crazy, but to me, one of the very first things starting with Create is that you guys have to keep an eye on me. I'm suffering like always with the internet. And if I start spinning, we will do a part 2, okay? If all things hopefully work well, okay? So tools, okay? So we have to kind of lay the setting here for our tools. Hey B, how are you, sweetheart? Yes, if I start spinning or get frozen, I try to kind of revive the little stuff here. But if it doesn't happen, come back for part 2. I usually it takes me about 5 minutes to bring it all back, but I try to bring it back in a part 2. Okay, so part 2 is part 2. The first thing that I want to talk about are our tools, okay? Hi Joy, we need to take a look at all our toys and see, toys. Yes, they are kind of like toys. All our tools. Are you ready for Create? And by Create, the actual May 1st is not the part that I'm asking for you to get ready to. I'm asking you to get ready for the box that comes into your home. For that box that comes into your home, are we ready? And I have to say right this minute, no, because look at this. I have like glue all over and gunk all over my plates. There is a video from Jennifer McGuire that we should all take a look at and try to see if we can work on that and clean up our plates. Like if I show you now I think that for Crop at Home or for this event, we don't have to, but look at how bowed my lovely plates are. And I do the flipping and all that stuff, but look at the bowing of this plate. It's like a bowl. Yes, so we need to kind of get that ready because you're going to want the new plates for the time when the box comes in, which is in 6 weeks. Let's hope that all of the loveliness comes to us in 6 weeks, right? Mid-April. So yes, let's start taking a look at these plates and look at that. I think that's like at least an inch or an inch and a half in there. Um, so start to look at your space. And I know we get a, what is the part of the sale, like a stock up sale to prep for your create time, right? And so you need to kind of look at that as part of your supplies. So I am going to spend some time with this lovely gunky stuff. And you know, I think I know. It's an ongoing thing for me because I'm constantly working on project 1, 2, 3, and then I also have to get ready for create. So yeah, I need to get these in soapy hot water, scrub them really good, and then I always get my new magnet plates. I wrap them um, in Glad wrap. Okay, I never unwrap them. If I have to wash these, I just kind of soak them and let it be, right? Um, but yes, it is going to be nice. I do have a brand new set of these, but I'm kind of attached to the old ones. Like I have new plates, but I kind of like my old ones, which is odd. But you need to, this is like part one. You need to get your tools set up. Make sure that you have plenty of tools that you have nice and clean, okay? And then your basic stuff, you know, like your little scrubber, right? Your little scrubber, whatever you use for adhesive. Like I use this Big Monster ATG, and that is because I live where I live and I don't like to run out, so I need this Big Monster gun. So stuff like that. And I did just order some solid, like ivory paper, as a background, and that's kind of something that I want to talk to you about. Ivory paper is for me one of the best things to kind of help your picture be the center of your scrapbook page. Okay, so I did order some ivory paper, and what else do I have that so that kind of stuff. Look at your, now we have already know exactly what our event box is coming in, right? We have Rose, we have Jack, and we have Charlie. So those kind of things you can look at now, and let's start digging out the pictures and printing them the size that you want, okay? And then we can tweak those pages to fit our scrapbook pages that we're going to create in May. Okay, so I want to talk about that. That is one thing that I really want you to do. What brand do I use? I love the Anna Griffin brand, but right now I ordered Recollections from Michaels. And we'll see what they look like. This one that I'm using today, this one is absolutely gorgeous, and it is from the Anna Griffin collection. And it's a big old stack of just ivory. I love it. Hello, my Shirion, how are you? So I love that ivory part of it. Okay, what else did I have? A couple of things that I wanted to make sure we talked about before we got into finishing up the mystery box. Okay, so this week is 60 days, next week is 53, and then so on and so on, okay? It starts to get real. Like when I started posting for like next week, 53 days, I was like, whoa, that felt really real to me. So if I start, let me make sure that I am going down my list because I think this is important for us. I want you to start looking at your tools of what you have in your space, okay? And I want you to start looking at your pictures, okay? You have access to Anna Griffin's website, and she has her palette of each day. We're doing a different palette of color collection. So you can see what pictures you can pull from there, okay? And if you don't have pictures, that's perfectly okay. I do not use the pictures right away. I kind of use this little ivory paper as my picture holder space kind of thing, okay? I'm one that works backwards with the pictures, but I know the photos are super important. Okay, so I want you to do that. I want you to get out tools, start cleaning them up. Make sure that you have, I hate to even say this, but tool 2 tool-in-ones, right? Because if this thing breaks, or heaven forbid you drop it and it breaks off, then you're gonna be in trouble trying to clean this up, okay? Now, if we do all our prep work, and I really want to talk about when it comes to the prep work. Oh, Hobby Lobby has ivory that's probably pretty also. I'm going to be in town tomorrow. I'll have to look at Hobby Lobby. I just ordered from Michael's. And I wanted that really thick one, that 110. I don't think that the Anna Griffin one is 110. I'm not sure. This might be more like 80 or 90. So I want to make sure that you have tools, photos, and when it comes to that prep day, that you are ready to receive your box. And that's one of the reasons I'm kind of really thinking that we're not going to do a Zoom class in the month of April, because I want you to prep for your Create box. We will meet and do a crop or do more YouTubes like this. But I really want you to be ready for your box, because that's super important to me, that you know, it's an expensive ticket. So I want you to really feel it and enjoy it, okay? Yes, so having a little extra tool might help you. And I know it sounds really hard to do, but I feel like the light is coming really strong on my eyes. Hold on a second. Let me pull this one down. It's the 3 o'clock. The 3 o'clock hour is my son on this side of the house. Maybe that's a little better. So make sure that you are having all your stuff ready to go, okay? So photos, cleaning desk, tools, stocking up on tape, foam tape, those kind of lovely things. I want you to start on that now. We have our next Zoom class March 21st, and I did that on purpose, a little bump early, because I wanted to make sure that we have time after class to prep for Create our desk wise, okay? And maybe we can do what do we call it, like a little crop to kind of talk to each other. We'll do like a little Zoom time before Create, because maybe we have questions between each other that maybe we can help each other answer. So we'll talk about that when we get closer to April. I'm thinking like April 18th or something like that. So what else do we have, my loves, that we want to talk about? I wanted to make sure that we talked about those kind of things before I move over to the lovely mystery box. You know, I have to finish the mystery box. So we're going to be talking Create while I'm creating the mystery box finish, right? Yes, I want to do that and talk about, you know, the big thing right this minute when I'm looking at this box is the rule of threes, the 60-30-90 rule. Okay, you know that my little bit of gold or glitz is going to be this lovely. And then like 60% of it is probably what I would consider pink. On my page, and then 30% of it might be a little bit, I'm kind of going with the green. I wish my friend Tracy would be here to look at this, but I'm kind of feeling a little pink and green moment, but I'm not sure yet. We'll look. And what else do we have? Let's see. I love doing this because I just start. Okay, we're going to move over to my mystery box. I'm trying to make sure we didn't have anything that I needed to tell you about Create before we start. I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to move you over to my desk. Please forget the hot mess I have going on because I really, yeah, it's a little bit caliente. Okay, let's move over to the desk. And I really, okay. And then we're going to kind of hold on tight because I have to turn this around because my friend Annie Pence will call me and say, Martha, you're not in the right direction. Okay, so let me take this away. Hold on. Yes, I will figure this out real soon. And there. Maybe not. There we go. Ah, lovies. This way. Yeah, that's my chandelier in my little craft room. I love that thing. Okay, so here we are. Okay, I tried to warn you before I flip you guys around because, you know, I don't want you to have, you know, like vertigo issues because we're sitting here moving things around. So can you see my little page that I have been working on? Let's move the keyboard out of the way. And so I'm kind of feeling it in that direction, but I did really like it the way it was spent this way. I kind of liked that. Okay, so I'm feeling this pink and green moment there. You see how that green, I think my green might be going the other way. Okay, so let's talk about, while we have this sitting here, this is the perfect time to talk about, my goodness, why is my laptop acting weird like that? How is everybody doing? Oh my goodness, let's see who is here with me. Hey, Patty, and I have Pamela. Pamela's here also. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well. Yes. Okay, so I normally, when I look at this, I like it in this direction. I like the vertical borders. And I think that next week will be our lesson about borders and which direction do you like it. Oh my goodness, did I already freeze up? Okay, so let's show you this die. I was looking at a 5x7, a big frame that I can use to kind of blend into this detail, those big lacy holes. Okay, and so I found this one. What class, it says crop at home 2. It looks like this. Okay, it does come with a border. Crop at home, well, up here it says 2, but over here it doesn't say 2. Crop at home 22. Yeah, so that would be 2. I thought that little square piece right there might be something that looks like it belongs together. Now, of course, our frame here does not need to be a different one. We can always use our cutouts, you know, to frame our little thing here. So I was looking at that also. And I wanted to cut it just to see what it would look like, because I do love this. I love this die. You know that I love a lacy die. Okay, there we go. And let's get one of my little frames that's 5x7. Okay, and you see how that would look right there. I think I have to move it to the pink so you can see that better. I don't think you can see it so much. Okay, so here we have the background, right, which I will show you. The little tiny fillet is this lovely color right here, okay? And then you have the hot pink, and then you have the butterfly pink, which is this color, okay? I just want you to see the colors together so that you kind of know if that would work for you or not. I love that. Okay, so right here. How is everybody's Monday going? I have, it's been a rough Monday today, so I haven't gotten as much as I wish I could have gotten done. You know, but sometimes you just can't. You can't get everything done when you can't get everything done, and you just got to go with it. Okay, so in the middle, I feel like it needs one more line, and I don't know, that might be just too thick. What do you think? We go too thick, but I think it needs an extra line here. Let's look at it. So last week with the mystery box, I showed you that cute little trick that you do where you hang your die off of the edge, and you're able to make these dies turn into, you're able to turn them into 12 inches. And you can do that with all of your lovely dies. It doesn't have to be this specific die. You just kind of have to play with what I like to say, some sloppy copy paper. Oh, talk about sloppy copy paper. that is a very good idea. You may want to practice with sloppy copy paper when it comes to your Create box. Okay, I need 2 more right there. So let's clean these up. Because if you get your gorgeous materials and you don't have any more, like we don't get more than what we get. Let's see, how much do I, where am I ending up with this? Oh, I need this one. I need these 2. Okay. I'm talking and not listening to myself with this. I know. Okay, right there. I don't know if I want to do this, but I wanted to see how it would look. Okay. We're going to split this one right here in half. You see? And then you have your, this would be, I think, fabulous for like an 8x10 picture. But I think it's just too big with this big border on the side. You kind of have to look at the scale. It gets kind of big. So that's the difference. And if you cut it into just 4, we'll take these pieces out. Let's look. Okay, this looks more reasonable compared to the scale when you're looking at this one and this one together. That looks like it's better, but I feel like I need to cut off these pieces here. And then how big of a picture can we put in it? Okay, here's 5x7, and literally that whole thing is going to be a 5x7. Now today I wanted to use this one, and I trimmed my 4x6 a little bit smaller so that I can, oh, I was going to sneeze, sorry. Then you can see that this one would still work. Okay, do you see how that would still work there? And we take these pieces off. So we might still want to work with the same little family. Let's see. I kind of like that. Let's trim off these little pieces because I like the idea of working with what we have in our mystery box. But don't be afraid to mix and match your dies that you already have. And maybe you don't have the mystery box, but you might have some of this paper in your stash. So let's pull it out and use some other dies, okay? I am really liking the way this looks. Okay, here. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the green, but we're looking. So I'm going to make it so that the green is just a little fillet itself bigger, okay? Thinking of proportion and your colors of, I always think green is super easy to blend in other pictures because your other pictures are going to, of nature, like everything is green. The earth is green. Well, some of it is just cement gray, but regardless, it was originally green. Okay, so see how this one here is, oh, that looks pretty to me now. And how big is that now? That frame that is green underneath, let's measure. Because what we're doing is working, this is 5.5. And I don't know if 7.5 is going to make it. It would be too long. So let's get our tools. Okay, the other thing we need to, when we're thinking of Create, get to know your paper trimmer. And let me raise this up a little bit more so you can see the paper trimmer itself. Get to know your paper trimmer because I think it's super important that you get to do that now and see where things sit, see how it cuts. Have a nice sharp tool so that you can you have a nice sharp tool to cut everything, okay? You don't want to use tools that are going to be dull. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to cut the next one. And I am using my paper trimmer as the landmark of where I am cutting, okay? So I cut where this little clear plate is on the edge of the gold. And that is something, that's what I'm saying, get to know where your paper trimmer, what it's doing. I know, there we go, that one's better. Okay, so get to know, and for my paper trimmer, this is a Tim Holtz tonic. So I put on little slashes right here where the one is. I put another slash where the half mark is, and the same for the bottom, because I always do that cutout of the window. Know your tool, your little tool right here also, because you need to know exactly where your cutting blade is at when you're cutting the paper. Okay, I love that about that Tim Holtz one, because you can really see where the paper is at, what you're cutting. Okay. Wait, sticky. Okay, now, so I did get the green because we're gonna add flowers to this, and green goes with your flowers. Now, what I don't like about this selection of paper is that this background is cream colored, and the background for this one is white, and that is bothering my eye. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference because it's so tiny from here to here, but I see the difference. And so I may change my mind and go to this one as the background, but then it looks too matchy-matchy. Does that make sense? I don't want it to be so matchy-matchy. That's why I went for the green, and we get our third color in. Even this one might look better, but that green one is really creamy. This one is still also more white ivory. So let's just go with it because I have a plan, okay? We have pink, the green, and you have two tonals of your pinks here. You have that heavy pink on the back, and you have your green on top, okay? And you can barely see the green. So the next thing that I wanted to do, because we were using ribbon, and we talked about how ribbon for me is just real nice texture. It just feels so good to me. And now that I see this frame here, I can easily move it into this direction. Like, I feel like that looks balanced to me, okay? So the next thing I want to do is, let me come over here and make sure that I have said hello to everybody. Hi, how is it? Patty in California, and Candy in Houston. I'll see you soon. Cheryl in Virginia, how are you? It's raining over there. Oh my. Sunny and chilly in Illinois. Wow, you guys really, I just love it. Tomorrow, everybody get ready for HSN. What is on your list? Let me tell you, Pamela Densmore, I already ordered like 2 or 3 days ago, as soon as the stuff started coming out. Yes. Hey, Rita, how are you? And I have La Francis here also. Okay, I am going to use ribbon for this. And remember way back when we used to have the little ribbon around our corners? I want to bring that back because I love a good corner ribbon moment, okay? Just like that. I just think that is so pretty. And again, it adds that, I almost feel like it adds a ladylike moment to your page, and it just feels good to me to add that there. And then you have this little ribbon that is right here at the bottom, so that feels good to me. I just love the way that whole thing works. And you want to replicate, redo the same thing as you do one. If you're doing ribbon on the bottom. You want to kind of use it on the top. You want to move it to the next page. You want to kind of sprinkle it throughout your entire album. Oh my goodness, you're putting away the dishes. That's no fun, Beth. Um, I replace one plate at a time. I'm with you. And I haven't even replaced, I think I've replaced one or two in my entire life. I usually sit there and try to bend them back to normal. Um, are we getting something extra for signing up for the auto ship for Create 2026? I would have you check with the Anna Griffin, what is it? The Anna Griffin website or the HSN website. I don't know about that, but that would be nice, right? Okay, so look at that moment right there. I kind of really like that. So let's try that, and I'm going to cut. And my scissors, oh, that's another one. You've got to clean your scissors. Look at that. Mine's are a hot mess because from Saturday's class. Okay, and for this, I like to put, let's move this stuff out of the way a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't even have to do too much. Just a little bit. And now my ribbon went away. Here we go. Okay. There we go. So look at how far your corner is right there. Hold it. I'm looking at my angle and trying to see if I've got that right. And I just kind of fold that piece over and press down. You don't want to have lumps and bumps on the back side because then you'll see it on the other side. Okay, just nice and flat. And once you get the hang of doing this little part, it'll feel better to you. Okay, and I kind of think I even want to do the little picture on top. I don't know. I'm kind of just feeling it out. Okay, so let's try it one more time. And a little bit here and here. And this ribbon is 1.5 inches, quite big. Okay, you can also use ribbon that is not so thick. This looks like perfect ribbon for hair bows, to tell you the truth. And that way we can compare the top and the bottom. If you put your little corners on different spots, and you can decide where you want your corners to be at. I'm kind of putting out a tiny little bit outside of the corner that is 1/4 inch outside, so it doesn't have a ribbon. And just kind of press and hold that. Same thing over here, press and hold it. Okay, now we flip it over and you can decide what looks best for you. Do you like the one that has the little white mark hanging out, or do you like the one that doesn't have the white mark? Do you like the picture on the outside or not? I'm kind of thinking that I want my corner completely in ribbon. So I'm putting my ribbon out into the little corner here. I go, and right at that corner, kind of like when you're book wrapping, you're going to wrap that corner with ribbon. And the other side, just like that. Okay, I like that, and I haven't decided about the other pieces. So let's go do the other 4, and using way too much ribbon because you can see how much I have left over. But I'm trying to use up my stash, which, by the way, I need to de-stash my stash. So I think we're going to bring back the spring rehoming project, where we are rehoming with generosity and finding new places for our crafty stuff. And you sell it for a very generous price so that your crafty friend can buy something that maybe they weren't able to buy the first time around. So I've got a couple of things I need to, well, a whole room of stuff. I was supposed to be cleaning that up today, but, you know, I got busy with the chickens. My little chicks are really entertaining and my time. Okay, so now you have this one and hold. Now, if you don't have this big monster ribbon, you can also use the ribbon that came in your box. Okay, here is an option, and I kind of think I'm looking at wanting the ribbon on the, the picture on the outside. I think I kind of like the way that looks. Okay, there. And here. We got a bunch of ribbon on this, and let me show you how pretty that could look on a completely different page. Okay, if you wanted to not put that one down, look, we're gonna put this one is white, and we're gonna put it on top. You still are bringing that ivory in to your eye, okay? And we can do a picture that's even smaller, like the 4x6 picture that's on the top, okay? And you got ribbons in your little box. And I love, is that my good one or my bad one? I'm not sure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't think this is the exact color of the ribbon that I already own, but we're just practicing, okay? Give me a little grace here, a little bitty grace. And it may not be the exact pink color, but it looks pretty good, I think. And I'm putting that one right there. And the little tiny bits that I think that are so cute, okay, when you put your little pictures, I love a little photo op with little pictures and bows. Now, I know we got new bow dies made of ribbon, made of paper, but you know what? I know you have some ribbon, and you can just do this kind. I kind of think I want to go this way, because you see how the little legs of the ribbon kind of help frame your picture. That one may not be cooperating. It's like the chickens. One is not cooperating. She is not cooperating. Oh, that one for sure is not cooperating. It's going in different directions. You can run them through your flat iron, and then they'll agree to go wherever they need to go. If you have a problem with it. Okay, do you see how that looks so pretty? That is just so pretty. I really like that. And I might not want to use the cream in the background. I'm kind of back to green. It's a little bit small. This was our original plan. Look how pretty that looks. Oh my goodness. So here we have very, very balanced page. Like you have the paper you used for your frame in the tiny little fillet. You have this gorgeous border going on. Let's just pretend that the ribbon, this luscious, big, thick 1.5 inch ribbon that you put through here, also is the exact same color of what you have over here. It's just a tiny bit off, but nobody's gonna know. And then we have this lovely one here, and I'm gonna say that one is too much. I want to go with a different color, and it's not gonna be that, let me tell you. I would do maybe flowers instead before I do that one, because I don't like the pink is too pink, and I don't like that pink. So let's go do this one. I think that is just going to be so perfect, and I am going to cut it the card one, okay? And I'll show you. We're going to do a little cute trick that I love to do so that you have journaling involving in it. Okay, yes, don't look at my plates. They are so a hot, dirty mess. Okay, here. Now the deal is that if the cutting blade of your die is outside of the paper, it's not going to cut, okay? That is what it is. Now I'm putting this little thing on the outside so it doesn't cut it. This is a beautiful card that I am using as a journaling marker. There we go. All right, I think we might actually finish this page today. So next week, we're going to work on learning more borders and learning about the recipe for a pretty compound border, which I like to call extreme because none of mine are just a border. So here's my little journaling card for my date, and then you open it up. And you know my favorite is around here somewhere, right here. And there's two of them in there. And I think at this moment would be perfectly reasonable to have a different one of my little favorite, which somebody had it on the Griffinite page for sale. This little tiny die came from the diorama. It's the center. So, and I thought the whole diorama was for sale at a reasonable price. I can't separate it, so maybe it's correct. I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue, but I left my wet glue open all night, so it's not coming out. But that's why the other thing, have your wet glue backup. Loves, have a little backup because sometimes you will forget about it and leave it open like me. Yes. Now put that over here so I can try to remember not to leave it open. And we'll put this right here. So have you finished watching Bridgerton? I did. I love it. I absolutely love all the little royal shows. Just fun. Okay, now here. And then I like to take this little inner one and flip it over to the other side. And use it as where you put the date. Okay. So on this side, I will put my glue. Look at that. I already missed where I put it. And I go in here and use this little circle here. There we go. And do you see how cute that is? And then this is going to be the border. This is going to be our little, I'm having to decide where we're going with this, right? Am I going vertical? I think yes. Okay, so let's find placement. We have about 15 minutes left. Can we finish it? Maybe. I do need to pop this up, and that's one of those things that you have to decide if you want to pop up your items or not. I feel like things go flat when they're not a little bit up, and if you're not going to go up, that's fine. I love that. But then you need to use some texture. Have a different element that is flat, okay? Whether you run something through the embossing folder or add a little bit of ribbon like we added here. But right now I can, I should show you my scrapbook book for just 3 months of it. Yeah, it's so fat, it's ridiculous. I might have to get a whole new album for it. Okay, so see here, now I'm able to come in here, and I love that flower. I can't believe I'm closing. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, just like that. And that to me just gives me a little bit of difference. You know, it gives that dimension that I'm looking for. Okay, now here is our lovely border. We did the border where it was a box pleat last week. Next week we are going to be going through what I like to call the recipe book, the recipe for making pretty compound borders. Okay, so basically you have ribbon, you have the little lacy die, and then you have a paper trick, and that is my favorite way to go when it comes to um, a fast way to say your recipe. It's like your, what do they call that, Patty, honey? Um, um, mm, it's your roux to just about every dish. Your roux, yes. Okay, so here I want to kind of place it on this side. I'm gonna put this one temporarily right there because I want to see how much space. You want balance between the space that's on the top, the space that's right here, and the space that you're leaving behind over here. Okay, that is where you're kind of looking. And for me, usually this little bottom space is, I like it right there. I tell you, it's about half an inch to 3/4 is my favorite space to leave. Now I'm going to take this part, and I don't think that this time I need foam tape because I have so much dimension with the ribbon. Okay, I don't think I'm going to need foam tape. And I'm going to reach in here and pull on the score tape adhesive little skin here and take that off. And when I do that, I kind of hold on to the edges, and you know, you can you can do this as you know, eyeball it if you like, or you can go as detailed as you like. Okay, because you can sit here and mark a whole pencil if you want to. I don't have to right this minute. But I think that these pieces need a little bit of wet glue to hold these little pieces down. A little wet glue or a little adhesive of some sort. It's going to be better in your scrapbook page because your page is going to be, your book is going to be in a page protector. So the wet glue is just so sloppy and it makes your ribbon look weird. So I don't want to do wet glue around my ribbon right this minute. Okay, oh, I just love the way that looks. Okay, so you see that? Now let's measure that and I'll tell you how off I am. It's an inch. Over here I'm about at 1/8 of an inch off, and over here I'm an inch. So we've got some bowing, which is okay with me. Okay, there. Now here, that's the next one. This one we have to decide if we're going to put a little bit of pop-up dots, and I'm going to say yes. Okay, just a little bit in the corner here and there to kind of help give it a little more dimension. This is your picture. This is your big star. So make sure that we have a good amount of tape for it. Your box pleat border adds so much to the page. Thank you so much, Kelly. The box pleat is the Fancy Folds anniversary paper trick thing from Anna Griffin, and I want to say it comes with like 8 12-inch embossing folders, and they are gold for me. They're usually $60 to $80. Please use my affiliate link. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of wet glue to the tops. That kind of gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I am coming in here to glue, because I'm the eyeballer, right? Just about there. I like that. Oh, and I love the way those little bows are. That little leg has got to stay put. Now we have somewhere my cute little nest over here. And I, again, am saying that this is going to be on the right side of my page. So I kind of want this here. Okay, like about there. So again, foamy tapes, I can see that they're going to need foam tape. On one side is going to be heavier than the other side. So you see I'm only adding foam tape to the part that's going to be holding on to that piece, and actually we're going to make a little double foam tape because I think it's going to need it to not smush the ribbon and the little bow that's underneath. Let's see if we're aiming into the right spot. So this is going to go right into this little space, okay? And And let's make sure it opens the right direction. Because you know I have that issue. Sometimes I put them in the wrong space. There. Okay. There we go. And now you can open this lovely up, and you're set there. That bow is right in that little corner. Let's move her around and wiggle. There. She can get in the way. Let's see. We're going to have to make her a little bit higher so she's not in the way when I open and close. Okay. Now is the fun part. Okay. And we have to come back and really talk about the embellishments. You see that the page is already so much, right? This is a lot of stuff on your page. You've got ribbons, you've got gold, you have 4 different patterns working here. You've got the box pleat working here. Okay, so as far as embellishments, how much more do we want to do? Okay, I love it all. I'm the one that says more is more. Hello everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We are 10 minutes away from 4, and I swore that I only needed 30 minutes. Here are these cute little lovelies. Okay, and I do love a little bee because, you know, it's the queen bee. And here we have a little teacup. So make sure that when you pull this up that you're not hitting your embellishments. Okay. I thought I had flowers. Do I not have flowers in this baby? Oh, it's last week's flowers. Where is last week's flowers? I don't know where last week's had the flowers, I think, that were hot pink that go with this page. I don't know where last week's stuff is at. Does anybody know? In my room. How do I remember that it was last week's? Last week had the hot pink. Now let's think where those things are at in my life right now. I don't know. I took out the box and gave it away. So I went 3, a set of 3. Here's one little bundle, you know that. Then we need some flowers around it, and then here's another little bundle, and then this tiny little one over here is going to be the 3rd one with the little baby here. And I ordered it, but I haven't received it. The glue, I think these butterflies would be perfect Chirion with your little glue technique. Remind me, I'm going to put the glue on the edge and then pass it through the glitter paper that makes it look really super pretty. I'm thinking of where could I have left my I don't know, last week's rub-ons and Astrid, and you know I've had 50 projects on my desk since then, so you guys have to give me a little grace on trying to find stuff because I don't know where it's at, but we will put it together and finish it up next week. Okay, all I have to do is find all I have to do is find it, and hello, I found it as soon as I say thank you, St. Anthony. Okay, so these flowers I thought from last week would work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And where's the little pocket here? Okay. Now, the other little mini thing that I want to talk about is you need something to hold everything together, okay? That little bee needs a little flower to sit on. I'm kind of pulling all of these lovelies out of here because, gosh, are these flowers beautiful or what? Holy moly, I can't believe we got so many. Oh, they're all so pretty. I haven't used a single one. Have you guys been using these? These are just magnificent. I think this is the price of admission, excuse me, is this. This one is a 3 all by itself. Oh, so pretty. I think that's going to be too big, but maybe for the butterfly. I think this one, I don't know. Right there. I like bringing different colors in, okay? So you have that that's landing. I don't want you to put a flower like just there. I want it to have something, a reason for it. Put it on top of the corner if you want. I want it to land somewhere with a purpose. Oh, that one would be perfect right here because it's so big. It could be in the coffee cup. Do you see what I mean? Like that. We can put a little hole in it. I just saw that in somebody's video. They were making little purses, and they took their coffee cup, their little purse, and made a little zigzag right where I'm marking. Let's just pretend that this is a purse instead of a coffee cup. Okay, like this. And they were putting flowers, but in their little, look how cute that is. But I think that's a little big, but let's try it with this one. I like it. And you see, kind of make a little trio of stuff, okay? That one is big on that one, and then maybe this one with the bee. Okay, am I out of frame already? This one keeps lifting. Okay, gotta put it down. I like this color here because it kind of gives us a little more color where we're at, okay? And then we kind of put it into this little space, okay? I like the way that's looking. So kind of 3 little elements together, and I know it's missing a little doily. Wouldn't it be adorable if it was a little doily there somewhere? Because who has a cup of tea without a doily? And I just happen to have a doily right here because why not? Why wouldn't you not have a doily in your scrap room? Look how cute that is. That is what I'm talking about. Things landing on something, okay? Now, let's flip this one over and see what has glue and doesn't have glue. Some of these are stickers and some of them aren't. These things don't look all alike. Okay, so now we have our little coffee cup. We're putting flowers in it. Okay, just like that. And that little thing helps hold it in. And then this one is our third element, because we have to have, our eyeballs have to have 3 things to make them feel like they're pretty. I don't know why, but that's not my rule. It's my eyeballs rule. Okay. Trying to see how I want them intertwined. How about behind it? There we go. You see that? Isn't that cute? Okay, so now I can get to this back area, and I can put some heavy duty score tape on the back. I'm sorry, it's going to be longer than an hour. I tried, it don't work for me. When my brain starts going, there's no stopping it. No. But I'm feeling really good because I have been able to start doing some creating for our Zoom classes, because I'm not doing all the work from the website. Go visit my website while you're here. I really need your opinion. See how cute that little doily is. And because we only put tape on this part, this entire little doily can get rearranged and moved. And I'm making the little ribbon. I'm pulling the little ribbon up because I want to be able to still see it. And then this lovely is going to be behind it. Okay. Oh, is that not stinking darling or what? Okay, now we need more tape to add to the back. I'm thinking right there. Okay, and this is my heavy duty 1-inch score tape. Right there. So I'm sneaking it in. I need it to be inside this spot, right? So I can't go into that space too much. I want it to look like it's a coffee cup. And right there. Tell me that's not stinking adorable, cute. I won't believe you if you say no. Okay, and then I'm going to get a little bit of tape here also because I feel like it's going to need it right here to hold my little journaling tag. Feels like it needs a little support. Now that we know where our journaling tag is sitting, our next Zoom class is March 21st. I sent out a second list of instructions. They are exactly the same like the first set of instructions. It just has a different file name, and so I didn't want, I know the first file said March 29th, which was completely wrong. So I renamed the file March 21st, and now you have another file. But it is exactly the same. It's just a different name. I so appreciate everybody helping me with that. Okay, I can't tell you how much I love the doily. It even looks pink because it's so see-through-y. And we're going to add our little flower up here. I want this one on a little pop-up dot. So what we're looking at here are just little rules that we kind of play around when we are playing with our different elements here, okay? And I am kind of going back and forth for this corner. I feel like it might be covering up my ribbon, and I do want my luscious extra thick ribbon to be showing. So I might have to go to another corner, and I do think that we need smaller flowers. And do we have more doilies? My friend, I think it's Marie Ward that sells beautiful doilies. These are just cheapies, like cheapies for I don't know. They're not like unique at all. Just want to let you know. And if you get them so thin, you get a whole bunch of them in one spot. They're see-through-y. Okay. And I feel like we want to roll it up and maybe not make it an entire. You see a little doily magic here. We're kind of going to stick it underneath somewhere. Yep, like that. And then we're going to put a little flower, something. This is the one that has stickers on it. I know nothing about flowers or what their names are or anything like that. I'm putting them upside down. My apologies. I don't know anything like that. That is not my world. I just like them all. Okay, and then I'm putting a little tiny bee on a pop-up dot right there. And I feel like, you know, that is plenty. Okay, I feel like that goes plenty, and maybe I could have another something on the next page. If I wasn't going to have a next page, I feel like I would have to put something right in that space. So let's say this is the title to our love. So I feel like this gives me that 3-piece little space that I want. Little tiny little flower here. And I feel like the flower not by itself would be better with a little butterfly nearby. Okay, and look at this. Oh, I already had a pop-up dot on my butterfly ready to go. How convenient is that? And I do like them to touch so they connect. Oh my goodness, there's our page, loves. There's our page, and we are 5 minutes behind schedule. Okay, so we learned so much about designing a page. Okay, next week we're going to do the secret sauce for the scrapbook border. If you want to know more about the borders, I'm almost positive that it was in our Zoom class, August 12 and maybe September. Didn't we do 2 months of Canton Blue? And I think that's when we talked about extreme borders. Okay, look at that. I am loving that, and I have a picture ready for this, but I don't know where it's at. I do have one, but because oh, I love it. And I have the picture a little bit smaller than, let's get these little bows off, a little bit smaller than our frame of white. Okay, I think they need to back up. Didn't I say that I put just, I need to cut that trim off. I want to cut a little bit more, so maybe 1/4 of an inch. Who is going a little bit of Pamela, I'm thinking right there, and maybe a tiny bit over here. I would love to cut my double chin, but it wasn't the spot that it needed to go. So you see how that little ivory kind of frames that around? There we go. Oh, so stinking adorable. Now we can come in with our little bows, and I feel like they can go up a tiny bit more so that they're not blocking the white of the paper right there. And this one is going to sneak in between here. Okay. Ah, so cute. Okay, so let me see. I think I have to turn this around. I love your website. Thank you so much, Yurion. You're so adorable to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so what did you think? I don't know if I'm in frame or not because I don't see it. Ah, you might be just looking at my belly. Okay, so I'm too far away, too close. Listen, my loves, we're starting our series. This was series 1, okay? And series 1 is talking about getting ready. We are prepping now. It is serious. It is button down those shoelaces, getting them ready, tie them up with double knots because it is time to go. 60 days till create, okay? We need to get our tools, our tables are cleaned up, ordered, doubles, whatever you want. Leave me a thumbs up, yes, and please subscribe. Press the button so that you get notified. But next Monday, 3 o'clock, we're going to talk about the compound borders, how you can have so many of these lovely compound borders ready to go so that you know, if I made, I don't know, 10 of these, then you can just put them on a page and go. That's the idea for me. And 4, 6 pictures over here, 4x6s, and a beautiful collage, and it's ready to go. So we need to talk about that next week. I was going to say month. Now I'm too far, now too close. Let's see, what do we have? Let me see if anybody is asking me any lovely questions. Did that work out good for you? You guys, you know, you are seeing the reality of my background, of my world. It is, there's so much stuff that needs to happen. I can't even tell you. March is my work month. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. But listen, we have also to start our rehoming project on our website, Facebook. Okay. If you want me to, Candy, if you want me to put some stuff up for you for rehoming, it's ready to go. And yeah, Miriam, trying to move everything into the craft room, but I will get it. Okay, 60 days. It is time. I'm glad that you are enjoying this time. We are going to meet every Monday at 3, okay? Um, uh, oh, Sherry on with the pretty pink hearts. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, Joy, here's another page you can start using right now because I know you know how to do every single one of these steps. You are a rock star. You can do this. So it doesn't clump. Okay. The jumbo one. Okay, but then what kind of glitter do I use in there? Make the perfect straight line of glitter for the edges. Now tell me about the glitter that goes in it because yours looks really perfectly tiny. And I have that flaky stuff. I don't know what it's called. Edges and the teacup embellishments you made looks like a fancy brooch. Oh, we could wear those as like name tags for Create. Uh, I love that. It's a beautiful page and it is pinkalicious. Yes, it is pink, but you can easily make this less pink if you wanted to. But I happen to love pink, and I think pink is fabulous. Look, I'm wearing pink, okay? So, yes, please leave me a click up and see me here next week at 3 o'clock, okay? I'm looking through my things to see if I had any, like the flip journaling. Yvonne, I love you. Let's see, I always cut the centers out. It needs to be cut out like this because you have to cut that out so you can use more paper. I have so much paper. I'm just okay now leaving it in. But yeah. Kelly, hello, how are you? Excellent way to use the journaling box and date stamp at the same time because it is all at the end all about the journaling. The picture, the date, the everything ends up. We could have just pictures and a little label that says who they are. My little head may not remember everybody's name next year. So your pages are stunning. Thank you, Kelly. You are so sweet. So there was a lot of ideas going on with this. So, you know, you can do so much more. This could easily go this way if we changed out that little label thing, right? Or I guess it could turn into a little book one also. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you again here 3 o'clock next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.